Hello and welcome to Firstpost Spotlight, where we bring you stories that matter to you from all across the world. From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, we shed light on issues that shape our world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin with the top headlines. Ukraine says Russia launched its largest missile and drone attack in more than 3 years of war, targeting areas farthest from the front line. This as US President Trump says he would increase weapons deliveries to Ukraine. Iran's foreign minister holds talks with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman as Riyadh underlines diplomacy as the only path to resolving disputes in the region, 2 weeks after a ceasefire between Tehran and Tel Aviv began. Taiwan kicks off its largest military drills with its troops and US high-tech rocket systems as part of the preparations aimed at defending the self-ruled island against a potential Chinese invasion. Malaysia slams US President Donald Trump's tariffs as foreign ministers of the regional ASEAN bloc gather in Kuala Lumpur for a 3-day meet to discuss export restrictions and investment barriers. And Formula One franchise Red Bull sacks its team principal Christian Horner amid speculation over the team's top driver Max Verstappen mulling a jump to rival Mercedes and long-standing allegations of sexual misconduct. Hello and welcome. Let's start with the top story from India. An Indian nurse is on death row in Yemen. Her name is Nimisha Priya. Now, Priya has been convicted of murder of a Yemeni citizen, and now she is set to be executed on the 16th of July. Her case is being closely monitored by India's Ministry of External Affairs. As per the official statement, the Indian government is extending all possible help to save her life. The fate of the Kerala-based nurse is hanging by a thread. Let's take a look at the series of events that led to this moment. In 2008, Priya moved to Yemen to support her parents. In 2014, she partnered with a Yemeni resident named Talal Abdo Mahdi to run a clinic. Now, as per Yemen's rules, foreign nationals must have a local partner to start a business. In 2016, Priya and Mahdi had a fallout. She accused him of mental, physical, and financial abuse. In 2017, Priya had allegedly injected Mahdi with sedatives to retrieve her passport from him. However, an overdose of sedatives led to Mahdi's death. In 2018, Priya was convicted of Mahdi's murder. In 2020, a trial court sentenced her to death, and in 2023, the Supreme Court upheld her death sentence. Is there a way to save Priya's life? Yes, an apology from Mahdi's family can save her life. As per the Yemeni law, if Mahdi's family accepts Diya or blood money, Priya's execution can be prevented. However, his family has not accepted any such offer yet. Last year, Priya's mother, Prema Kumari, sold her house and travelled to Yemen. She personally pleaded for her daughter's life. She has urged the Indian government to help her daughter as time is rapidly running out. What makes this case further complex is the fact that Yemen is largely controlled by Houthis. Priya is currently imprisoned in the Houthi-controlled Sana'a, and India does not have formal diplomatic relations with the Houthi regime. India's ties are with the Presidential Leadership Council, which is the internationally recognized government. The Houthis' top body is called the Supreme Political Council. Despite the legal and diplomatic hurdles, Indian officials have said that they are in regular contact with Yemeni authorities and with Priya's family. A group called the Save Nimisha Priya International Action Council has been campaigning for her release. The coming days are very crucial for Priya's family as well as the Indian government. This remains a developing story and we will keep bringing you the latest updates as they unfold. Moving on, as tensions simmer across India's northern and eastern frontiers, the Indian Navy has just flexed some fresh muscle beneath the waves. India has successfully test-fired its indigenously developed extended-range anti-submarine rocket, or Eraser. The test was conducted from a frontline warship, the INS Kavaratti. The series of user trials conducted between the 23rd of June and the 7th of July marks a decisive step in strengthening India's underwater warfare capabilities. It's not just another defense test. This one speaks directly to the changing power equations in the Indo-Pacific. The Extended Range Anti-Submarine Rocket, or Eraser, is equipped with a twin rocket motor configuration. Eraser can hit underwater submarines with precision and high impact. From range validation to electronic fuse activation and warhead detonation, the Indian Navy successfully checked out every parameter of its new submarine killer, with its official inclusion expected soon. And it's all made in India. The Indian Navy has called it a totally indigenous system, fitting neatly into Prime Minister Narendra Modi's goal to achieve defense self-sufficiency. The timing is crucial. The homegrown submarine killer is set to be inducted into the naval arsenal just 2 months after India struck terror camps in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir as a part of Operation Sindoor. India, under Prime Minister Modi, has made it clear Operation Sindoor has paused, not ended. Busting a Pakistan-backed terror is now firmly embedded in India's defense doctrine. At the same time, with Beijing submarines growing more frequent and assertive in the Indian Ocean region, this undersea deterrent couldn't have arrived sooner. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has called the Eraser a boost to naval strike power and a nod to the synergy between the armed forces and homegrown defense industry. Speaking earlier at an event, the Defense Minister had underlined that India must continue strengthening its defenses during peacetime.
साथियों, आज डिफेंस सेक्टर में जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव चेंजेज हो रहे हैं, थोड़े समय पहले तक ऐसा नहीं था. आज के नए चेंजेज बड़े डायनेमिक और अनसर्टेन भी हैं. वैसे तो पीस टाइम का एक भ्रम के सिवा और कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी पीस टाइम की अगर बात की जाए तो कई बार मैं सोचता हूं कि पीस टाइम में तो हम सब डिफेंस सेक्टर को मजबूत करने की ही बात करते हैं, परंतु अचानक से कुछ ऐसी सिचुएशन बनती है जो हमारे पीस टाइम की थिंकिंग को झकझोर देती है. कहीं ना कहीं हमें कुछ और करने की आवश्यकता अचानक दिखाई पड़ने लगती है.
As a member of Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, or Quad, India, along with the United States, Japan and Australia, has been at the forefront to counter Chinese aggression in the Indian Ocean region. In recent times, New Delhi has deepened defense ties with island nations like the Maldives and Sri Lanka. Nations critics say have been targeted by Beijing's exploitative debt tactics. With its new submarine killer and growing naval muscle, India isn't just bolstering its own defenses. It's also sending a clear message against Chinese expansionism in the region. New Delhi is making clear that it won't be caught off guard, least of all underwater. And moving on, Turkey is ramping up efforts to deepen its presence in the Indian subcontinent. Ankara, a staunch supporter of Pakistan, has now found another partner in the region and in India's neighborhood. It's Bangladesh. And the base of this budding friendship is defense partnership. Turkey's top defense industry official, Haluk Gorgan, met with Bangladesh's chief advisor, Mohammed Yunus, and other senior military leaders in Dhaka on Tuesday. During the meeting, the two sides discussed strengthening the existing defense cooperation. Now, earlier, top Bangladeshi military officials had also visited Turkey. Defense cooperation between the two countries is rapidly expanding. The latest visit comes at a time when Dhaka is advancing its Forces Goal 2030 initiative. It focuses on boosting self-reliance in defense and minimizing dependence on a single supplier. Bangladesh has traditionally been dependent on Chinese arms. However, in 2022, Dhaka became the main buyer of Turkish defense equipment and weapons. Now, this growing camaraderie between Ankara and Dhaka comes at a crucial time, and it poses a serious challenge to India. New Delhi does not have many dependable regional allies. China backs Pakistan, and now Bangladesh's growing ties with another ally of Pakistan, that is Turkey, is a matter of concern for New Delhi. Ankara has openly supported Islamabad on global platforms. During India's Operation Sindoor, targeting Pakistan's terror infrastructure, Ankara backed Islamabad. Moreover, Turkish drones were reportedly used by the Pakistani forces to attack India. Turkey has also emerged as Pakistan's second most important defense partner after China. Ankara's military support to Pakistan includes providing drones and UAVs, smart ammunition, battlefield surveillance systems, and naval cooperation for joint production of warships. The ideological closeness between the two Islamist countries is also an important factor. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has regularly raised the Kashmir issue at international forums, backing Pakistan's narrative. What makes Turkey's growing presence in India's eastern neighborhood even more alarming is its reported support for Islamist outfits in Bangladesh, particularly the Jamaat-e-Islami. Now, reportedly, Turkish entities have funded the renovation of Jamaat offices in Dhaka and facilitated visits by Islamist leaders to Turkish arms facilities. India's neighborhood is becoming more and more hostile, with China and Pakistan on one side and Bangladesh's growing ties with Pakistan's ally Turkey. Tensions remain high for New Delhi. Now it remains to be seen how India will boost its security amid these regional challenges. And finally, shifting focus to the Philippines, an 82-minute documentary on the West Philippine Sea has become the latest flashpoint between Manila and Beijing. China tried and failed to block its release amid increasing hostilities between the two countries. The Philippines says the documentary amplifies voices of those defending Filipino sovereignty. Referring to China's attempt to stop the screening at a film festival in New Zealand, the Philippines called it a blatant effort to silence a powerful narrative, one that lays bare the daily struggles of Filipino fisherfolk facing Beijing's bullying. Without naming China directly, Manila has said this: attempts to suppress the truth will fail because the Philippines will not be silenced. Now, the documentary was initially set to premiere at the Quezon City Film Festival back in March, but it was mysteriously pulled out due to vague external factors. Last month, it finally premiered in New Zealand, where once again China tried to intervene. Festival organizers confirmed Beijing asked them to block the film, calling it a political tool, a charge that Manila denied. But the film, like its subject, stood strong. It went on to win the Tides of Change award at the same New Zealand Film Festival, with its creators dedicating it to every Filipino defending the West Philippine Sea. Their message: in the face of silence and fear, we carry the truth, and now the world hears us. Festival organizers hailed it as a visually stunning, deeply moving story of resilience, unity, and the fight for freedom. China continues to claim almost the entire South China Sea, including Waters, ruled out of its claim by a 2016 international tribunal. Now, the documentary may only be 82 minutes long, but it packs a geopolitical punch in the face of Chinese aggression. As China flexes power, the Filipinos respond, not just with patrol boats, but with powerful stories that refuse to be drowned. And that's all we have on the show for today. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on